Hello everybody, this is John from Doing American. Today I'll be doing another deck profile. So today, as you can see from the poster, that I'll be doing a deck profile of my frog heroes, which is actually quite powerful if you haven't actually seen it before. I've actually seen it on YouTube once before, but I actually got the idea before I even thought the idea to actually look it up online or whatever and see if it's actually my idea. Apparently it's not my idea, but at least it's a really cool deck. So let's get right to it. We have 14 monsters. We have 21 spells and 5 traps. So this deck is actually based off of the Bubble Hero deck. I mean, not the Bubble Hero deck, the Bubble Beat deck, which really uses Bubble Man, and it's also based off the Sea Lancer frogs. So let's get right to it. We have 2 Sea Lancer. I decided to have 2 Sea Lancer instead of 3 because 3 seems clogging and 1 seems just not enough. We have 3 Alias, 1 Stratos, and 1 Bubble Man. So in my previous build, I used to have 2 Prisma and 2 Alias instead of a Bubble Man and 3 Alias. So I did learn that the Prisma doesn't actually work with frogs because you can't just actually reveal an absolute 0 and then mill a frog to the graveyard. It's not like Foolish Burial, which really made me angry because I actually had a previous poster for this video, which is going to be my new thing for my deck profile. So I'm going to try to make a poster every single new deck profile, making new ideas every single time. So in my previous poster, I actually had Prisma instead of Bubble Man, but then I learned apparently Prisma doesn't work for this deck, so I raged, so I had to restart the entire poster. But anyway, back to the deck profile. For the frog engine, we have 3 swap frogs to put the frogs in the graveyard, which 3 is actually really good. This card's actually really important for the deck, and we have 1 dupe frog. I used to have 2 dupe frog and 2 swap frog, but I decided that the 2 dupe frog is probably not that useful enough, especially since you don't really even use his effect that much when you use Sea Lancer as an equip card. We have 2 Rodent Totems for the Exceed summoning of the Gachi Gentetsu. Its effect is actually really good for the deck. You can banish frogs to special summon it, and then we have a Poison Draw Frog for the Sea Lancer. So the deck actually has a lot of synergy, which is actually a term I'm not completely sure how to use, but I decided to use that word anyway. So the frogs are basically the support cards. They're the cards that help out with summoning the Absolute Zero, and they're also the cards that help out with the Gachi Gentetsu. It's actually really, really good together. So for the spells, we have a Dark Hole, 2 Emergency Call, which I decided to actually have 2 instead of 3 because I have 1 Stratos, 2 Emergency Call, and a Reinforcing Army, so that's 4 Searchers. We have Future Fusion, put the heroes in the graveyard, and we have 3 Pot of Duality for searching. So that's why I decided just 2 is enough, so I don't think that 3 is too much, actually. We have 2 Fusion Gate to banish those frogs that you don't really need in your hand or whatever. It's actually a relatively good card in the deck. We have 1 Future Fusion, 1 Heavy Storm, 3 Miracle Fusions, 1 Monster Reborn, 2 Mystical Space Typhoon, 3 Pot of Duality for consistency, 1 Reinforcement to the army, 2 Super Polymerization, was actually a good card for the deck because you can just discard a frog if you can't really get rid of it in a better way. And we have 2 Terraforming to put the Fusion Gate to your hand. So for traps, we have Solemn Judgment, 2 Solemn Warning, Starlight Road, and Torrential Tribute. I actually did decide to put in the Starlight Road because there are quite a few cards you want to protect, especially Sea Lancers, equip cards, your Gachis, your Fusion Gate, a lot of things you really just want to protect. So for the extra deck, we have 1 Utopia, 1 Excalibur, 1 Dijin, 2 Gachi, and 1 Stardust Dragon to work with the Starlight Road. We have, for the fusions, we have 1 Great Tornado, 1 Nova Master, 2 Shining, 3 Zero, 1 Esquidar, and 1 Gaia. So, like I did in my previous deck profile, I'll be showing you some cards that will be useful for the deck. So we have a Thrasher, which would be good for easy Exceed summoning. We have Aqua Spirit, which is really a good idea. Not really great idea, but it's actually an interesting idea because you can banish a water and special summon, so it's actually good for the Exceeding. Ocean to reuse your Absolute Zero because you do happen to reuse them a lot, but you usually only need like 1 or 2. Mother Grizzly to special summon the Sea Lancer or the Swap Frog from your deck to the field. Sangan, which can put frogs or Sea Lancer to hand. Tour Guide to work with the Sangan, and it's also an overall really good card for heroes anyway. Treeborn Frog because it's a frog and it's okay. However, you can actually use it for a fusion gate, but unfortunately, you can't special summon from the graveyard if you have fusion gate because it actually does count as spell or trap card on the field. That's why I didn't put it in. Gemini Spark to abuse your alias. Parallel World Fusion, which is actually a card I am really considering putting in because because of the Mirror Confusion and the Fusion Gate, you do tend to banish a lot of monsters, especially with the Rodent Totems. So there's also Polyvirus to rehash your Gachis and your Fusion monsters. Salvage to rehash your Sea Lancer and your Frogs. Wetlands, which it can be used with the terraforming, and you can get your frogs a little stronger. Hero Blast to get back your alias from the Gemini Spark. Water Art Aoi, which can tribute a water monster, a water attribute monster. Then you can discard one card in your opponent's hand, and you can also get a look at it. So it's actually a really, really good card. And you can also use it with Bubble Man if you can't really use them anyway. And we finally have Blade Armor Ninja, which could be a substitute for Excalibur. I just decided that Excalibur is probably better in a lot more situations because Blade Armor Ninja just does more damage, while Excalibur can get over powerful monsters. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you guys have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please comment below, and I'll see you guys next time.